Two-time world champion is going to be taking on the Iceman Lyle McDowell from Chicago, Illinois. We don't know much about Lyle McDowell, but Kenny, you fought Trevor Berbick. You went 10 rounds with him. What can you tell us about Trevor Berbick?
Well, I talked with Larry Holmes once about Trevor Berbick, and he told me how game Trevor is. And Trevor has a great chin. He's tough. He's been in. He fought everybody. He might be getting on in the years, but he still has lots of fight left in him. So I'm looking for an exciting fight tonight.
Well, we're certainly looking forward to it as well, Kenny, as we take a look at the Showgirls Tale of the Tape, and you can hear the crowd in anticipation of Trevor Berbick. He stands at 6'3", weighed in at 254 pounds. Lyle McDowell coming in at 230, and there's a difference in age, all right, but Berbick says he feels like a 23-year-old. This is for the IBO Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship. Scoring is done by 3 judges and is on the 10-point must system. There is no standing 8 count. 3 knockdown rule is not in effect, and the bell cannot save the boxer at the end of the round except in the final round. So I know quite a few boxing fans have been looking forward to seeing Mr. Trevor Berbick, and he's making a return to Edmonton. The last time, of course, he was in Edmonton was when he fought my good friend, Mr. Lacusta, and you had an opportunity to fight him in front of your hometown fans, and I think he knocked you out in the 10th round, but you went 10 solid rounds with a guy who's gone with the likes of Muhammad Ali, the Larry Holmes. He's been around the track, Ken.
Well, he certainly has. This was, we're talking 1983 when I fought him, and he was in his prime at that time, and I always wanted a rematch with Trevor Berbick, and we were supposed to have it in San Juan, Puerto Rico, on the Edmund Rosario undercard. We were all in Puerto Rico, and the return match was canceled, so we had a trip to Puerto Rico, but I never did get my rematch with Trevor Berbick. But he's a world-class fighter, ex-world champion, fought everybody. What else can I say about Trevor Berbick?
Well, and Trevor, of course, looking for an opportunity. This bout is for, like I had mentioned, the IBO Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship, and if he can beat Lyle McDowell tonight, it will put him in line to battle Brian Nielsen, who is the current IBO World Heavyweight Champion, and this is obviously an opportunity that Berbick wants.
Yeah, Brian Nielsen is an Olympian. He defeated Larry Holmes. He's a great young fighter out of, I believe he's out of Copenhagen, Denmark, and was in the Olympics, like I said before. And I think this is a great opportunity for this young fighter. This fighting Trevor Berbick, Lyle McDowell from Milwaukee, and it also gives Trevor Berbick a chance at a championship and to regain some of them highlights that he had in his career.
Lyle McDowell, Kenny, as we had mentioned at the top of this fight, we don't know a lot about him, but looking at his record, he was knocked out in the 2nd round by Lou Savarese, who, of course, took George Foreman the distance in their battle, and you know, he's got some experience. He's faced some tough competitors, but I think he's going to see obviously a man that is a little bit on in his age, but Trevor Berbick says he feels great, but I think this is an opportunity for Lyle McDowell to move his career up a notch.
It certainly is, and I think that Lyle knows the opportunity he has tonight. Trevor Berbick's not what he used to be. Although he might confess that he's this and he's that, he's an older man now. It's tough to regain some of that poise and that strength and that speed that he had as a younger man. But Lyle McDowell will certainly expose all these older factors in Trevor Berbick and possibly come out with a victory if he does everything the way according to Lyle's plan.
Well, finally, Trevor Berbick is making his way into the Edmonton Convention Center. And I really don't know what the delay was, but he is finally making his way in, and we're going to get our first look at Trevor Berbick in quite some time. And he, of course, smiling to the crowd and very excited about fighting back in Canada. At the press conferences leading up to this fight of the century, he had said that he probably took a pay cut of his purse to come in and fight for Easter Seals. This fight, of course, all in benefit of Easter Seals. And, you know, he's just the type of guy who's just so excited that this fight was for charity. And that's what Trevor Berbick wanted to do, come in and show the fans that not only is he a professional boxer who's won millions of dollars in the heavyweight division, but he's also a guy who isn't afraid to come in at a less purse and take on any competitor.
Well, he's the same Trevor Berbick that took on Mike Tyson in 1986 for the championship of the world.
Let's head up to the ring for our ring introductions from Rob Kay.
This next match, 12 rounds of boxing for the IBO Intercontinental Heavyweight title. This contest has been sanctioned by the International Boxing Organization. Glenn Carrier, President. The official supervisor is Gary Pliner. This match is also sanctioned by the Edmonton Boxing and Wrestling Commission, Al McKechnie, chairman. Sponsored by Century 21 and All Stars Realty of Camrose, your referee is Len Covisto. Your judges at ringside, David Haas, William Warwick Jr., and Gary Hart. Introducing first in the red corner, he's wearing the red trunks with the white trim, weighing in at 230 pounds, fighting out of Chicago, Illinois, with a professional record of 19 wins, 5 defeats, no draws, and 11 knockouts, Lyle the Iceman McDowell. His opponent fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the red trunks with white trim, weighing in at 254 pounds, from Toronto, Ontario, with a professional record of 45 wins, 9 defeats, 1 draw, and 32 KOs, the former 2-time world champion, Trevor Berbick.
Hey guys. Okay guys, this is for the championship. Let's keep it clean, eh? 2 things. When I say break, I expect you both to stop punching and take a full step back. And most important of all, protect yourselves at all times. Give us your best, guys. Good luck to both of you.
Well, it's time to get it on as Trevor Berbick ready to take on the young Lyle McDowell. And I'm quite interested to see it. I'm sure you are, Ken, to see what Trevor Berbick has to offer.
I certainly am real interested in seeing Trevor. Anybody that is over the age of 40 and still fighting, it's a credit to them. If they can win when they're over 40, Larry Holmes, George Foreman are the only ones I know that can do it. So this will be something new for me tonight.
Just back up and come out fighting when I give you the signal. Okay?
Trevor Berbick still looking in pretty good shape. He weighed in at 254 pounds. It's obviously a little heavier than I'm sure Trevor wanted to come in at, but he said he's been on a weight reduction plan and he's looking to slowly trim those pounds off. And it's not easy, Ken, as you get older to trim those pounds off.
No, it's not. It takes more time. You got to warm up a lot longer. If you're training for a fight, the pounds don't come off as easy. It's just a lot of work. The Iceman has a big opportunity here. The opportunity to win the IBO championship and to walk into some big paydays.
Well, one of the things that came up before this fight was even accepted by Trevor Berbick was the fact that Lyle McDowell is a southpaw, as you can see in the first round. And that concerned Trevor Berbick somewhat.
Well, it's always tough fighting the southpaw. They coming at you at different angles, and they're coming at you with their lead left hand in front of them, and it makes it tough for you. A lot of trainers don't like to face southpaws.
Right now, Ken, it just looks as if Trevor Berbick wants to see what young Lyle McDowell has for him.
Yeah, Trevor's going to keep his hands up. He's got lots of experience. He's going to see if he can wear this guy, use some experience on him, wear him down, see what he's all about. Feeling out, a little bit of a feeling out. Get the hands up in the air right now. Warming into this first round.
Looking like he's trying to loosen up there, Kenny. He should have been doing that in the dressing room.
Berbick right now is doing a robot rope-a-dope. He's keeping the hands up and walking in like a robot. And you don't want to catch as much leather as he is in this first round. McDowell's getting everything his way, and Berbick's just trying to see what he's doing. McDowell's just laying the leather on him.
Very reminiscent of the last fight that we saw in the first round, as Billy the Kid Irwin basically did exactly what Trevor Berbick's doing, and that is keep the hands up and let the other guy punch.
Well, Berbick doesn't have the balance he used to have. He's a lot bigger than he used to be. It's going to make it tough for him, but he's going to start to show more as the rounds progress, I'm sure. Right now, McDowell's got a big body to punch there, and he's punching it. And Berbick's got his hands way up in the air, raising them way up, giving him freebies, I don't think that's a smart idea.
I really don't know what Trevor Berbick's doing here.
Trevor's doing a little bit of showboating, a little bit of mental psychology, trying to intimidate, and I don't know if it's going to work or not.
Well, you know, Ken, I've had the opportunity to spend a bit of time with Trevor Berbick when he came to town, and no question, he's quite the character, and you can see by his performance in the ring tonight, you really have to wonder what's going through his mind.
Well, he's doing a lot of weird things in there. He's putting his hands right up, and he's letting this guy hit him, and I mean, nobody can let a man hit him in the body, especially the big guys.
It's waiting for you, okay? It's waiting for you to tire out. Show them that you're in shape. I need Vaseline, guys. I need Vaseline, please. Okay, let's go. Go to the chair, buddy. Go to the chair, okay?
I want some water.
Okay.
It's open, the little one. He wants it here. Here you go, man. Here you go, my man.
Seconds up.
All right? Breathe from the day.
Help.
This guy, we got it.
He wanted that, yeah.
Well, let's see if we're going to see a little bit more of Trevor Berbick here in round number 2, as he kind of took his time in round number 1, feeling out Lyle McDowell, and maybe Trevor's going to get down to business here. This is course 12 rounds for the IBO Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship.
Trevor's fighting that. He fought that first round like he was on the seniors tour. He's jumping around, and he's going to have to really come to life in this second round, because he's letting the one young man take everything away from him.
No surprise with your first round score.
Well, Trevor putting the hands up, letting him tee off on him. I mean, you can't win around that way, and you can't win around by showboating. So he's going to have to get busy and start getting his jab out there and start boxing this guy back. See, when you let a man get brave, you're going to have a real fight in your hands, and you don't want to let him do that. Big left cross punch by McDowell.
Another big left.
I think that Trevor certainly looks like his balance doesn't seem to be right there for him tonight. He's going to have to start to make things happen, connect with some big punches.
There's that infamous cross-arm defense used by George Foreman. And I think Lyle McDowell is just having a good time right now. He's not being pressured at all by the former two-time world champion.
McDowell's got him on hand speed, foot speed. He's got every which way. McDowell, the only way that he can run into trouble is by being caught with a huge punch. So if he fights a smart fight, Berbick's really got his work cut out tonight. There's the big punch I was talking about. Stuff like that.
It's the first time we've seen any velocity on a punch from Trevor Berbick, as he's just kind of feeling this kid out. And I'm sure he can move a lot quicker than what he's really showing us right now.
Well, he's going to have to, because he's given these early rounds away, and there's only been one so far, but he's starting to give this one away as well, and that's 2 he's got to play catch up for. And I think Trevor should be getting that jab out and start to make this guy fight him a bit. He looks to be a little stronger than McDowell, but he's not doing nothing. Possibly trying to play a little possum, wear McDowell out, get McDowell tired, and hopefully turn things around for himself later.
Well, Trevor Berbick's looking to vault himself into another $1 million payday, but he needs to get busy. And now we're starting to see a little bit more dancing in action of Mr. Berbick.
He's certainly floating like a butterfly, but he's not stinging like a bee. And I mean, he's got to start to put some stuff behind all this showmanship, and because that doesn't win rounds for you.
Well, we're through 2 rounds here at the Evans Convention Center. Let's go into the corner of Trevor Berbick.
Good, man. Yeah. Yeah, we got it. Here. Spit. That boy got it. You're not, no worry. Relax, man. You're nervous.
He can't figure out. He tried to move quick to lefty. Now.
Seconds out.
Okay. We just not like that.
Hey guys, seconds out. Let's go. Hey, come on.
Well, here we go into round number 3, and Berbick slow to get off his stool, even giving one of his cornermen a bit of a smack as he
You
goes
should
up.
worry about smacking a guy in front of him and leave the corner man alone. You can't win a fight that way, can you, James?
No. I'm sure we're going to see Trevor Berbick throw some sort of punches. It's just a matter of when. Let's hope we don't all fall asleep before that happens.
Well, from the Billy the Kid Irwin fight to this fight to even our opening bouts, we've had a lot more action.
Well, I know you'd love to give him 20 points, Kenny, in that round 2, but actually it was a 10-9 round.
Well, I mean, it's not that McDowell is lighting the ring on fire, but he's certainly doing a lot more than Trevor is. He's fighting smart, though. He's putting some good punches together. He's doing what he's got to do. He's laying the leather on Trevor Berbick, and Berbick's not really doing a lot. So there's a big right hook by Trevor. Trevor still possesses some power, and that's what he's got to hope to slow down Lyle McDowell with some one power shot to get back into this fight.
Trevor, of course, in his comeback has been very successful. I have not been able to see any of his comeback fights. This is my first opportunity, and obviously for those of the boxing fans viewing us right now, they probably haven't seen him either. But right now we're somewhat disappointed. I was looking forward to seeing a busy Trevor Berbick, but I've seen a slow and tired Berbick actually in the first few rounds.
Well, like I said at the start of this fight, there's only a couple men that can fight in their 40s, and that's Larry Holmes and George Foreman. All the other men, when they become 40 years old, over 40, it's time for them to start coaching, training, doing TV, doing other things. I mean, it means not fighting in the ring. I don't think that as you get into your 40s, that this is a place for a man of that age, because your reflexes just aren't there, James. Your power stays there, but your balance and reflexes are gone.
And Lyle McDowell doing a good job against Trevor Berbick. Will give Trevor this much, watching him train, and I had the opportunity to see him train in Edmonton, that he started off extremely slow even in his training sessions, but near the end of his training session he came out firing, and maybe that's just a trend that he likes to keep.
He's going to have to definitely pick up the pace here. Really, right now, Lyle's doing all the fighting. Trevor's just doing all the stalking, but really stalking and not really doing anything on it. He's letting this guy tee off on him. In the first round, we remember that he give him the body shots. In the second round, it was the clowning around. And this third round, he's really not doing a lot. And he's giving away rounds here again, just on being inactive.
Good shot by Lyle McDowell to end round number 3.
Relax. Okay, relax. Relax. Suck it. Breathe in. Breathe in. Breathe in. Breathe in. Give me some air. Give me some water on top of his head. Okay, let's go. Down here. Down here. Down here. Okay, good. Down here. Now, every time you make that turn, you don't punch.
I'll be good, man.
Just relax, please. Relax. Let me talk. Yes, you got him around the ball. Throw the ghetto punch. When you throw it before, throw him. Okay, please, Al.
Don't let him lull you in there. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, that's right. You're fighting his fight right now. You fought that right in his fight. Don't fight his fight. Stay on the outside. Be relaxed and throw the jab out there and nail him. Okay? Don't fight his fight. Okay? Remember, he's an old man. Don't fight him inside. Okay? Okay? Don't fight him inside, buddy. Let's go.
They want Lyle to move and jab him, and that's exactly what Lyle should be doing. He just has the hand speed for this guy, so he shouldn't be in there mucking it up with him.
Well, Trevor Berbick comes racing out of his corner. Maybe we're going to see some visions of the past heavyweight champion of the world here tonight.
Looks like he's coming out with a jab at least this round, and he's starting to push this fight a little bit, and that's what he's got to do. He's got to get back in this fight. He hasn't done nothing to this point, and he's got to come back in.
After 3 rounds, Kenny, you've got it all, Lyle McDowell.
Well, he's just done the most. It's mostly because Berbick just hasn't done nothing. Lyle has just thrown a few more punches, and he's been a little bit more busier and had really more of a fighter's attack. Berbick's attack really just hasn't been there.
Watch the punching on the back of the head, Trevor.
A warning from our referee, Lenny Covisto.
And I'm not really saying that Lyle's doing so much either. Lyle isn't really doing a lot of punching himself. He's kind of just laying around in there as well. But Trevor's he's coming alive a little bit more in this round, but he's really got to do more than that.
Well, he got a right hand through to the face of Lyle McDowell, but nothing with any power behind it. At 254 pounds, if he does hit McDowell, he will sting him as long as he's got that weight behind him.
McDowell just a little busier. He's doing a little bit more. He's keeping his jab out there.
Keep him up in there, Trevor.
It's a tough fight to watch, and I bet you it's going to be even a tougher fight to score to win if Trevor starts to throw a few punches, because both guys really aren't landing. They're just kind of. Lyle might be doing a little bit more. There's a big left cross right on the money. Berbick's chin still's there.
And that was something that Trevor was concerned about, fighting obviously a southpaw. He didn't want to get caught with shots like that.
Well, remember, it's 12 rounds too, so Trevor's been in there like he's got a veteran 55, 60 fights. He knows fights aren't won in the first 4 rounds, so he's got lots of time to get in there and do some stuff. His eye's starting to swell up a bit now, his right eye, from that left hand of Lyle McDowell's, and he's starting to push it a little bit more, and maybe he's starting to fight like Trevor can fight now.
It's a good jab, best jab we've seen so far tonight from Trevor Berbick.
That round was a lot more entertaining.
A little bit more from Trevor Berbick. We can head into his corner and see if he has anything to say.
A little better now. You hit me with that jab. Every time you get him in the mongoose, you gotta let that hook go. Because he's there for it. He's just right there waiting for you. Cross it, move up, breathe from it.
Here's a look at some of the action that we saw in the last round, and obviously Trevor Berbick knows he has to pick up the pace. You're not going to win a fight by dancing around the ring.
No, you're not. Although he caught a big left cross from Lyle McDowell, but Berbick come to life a little bit in that 4th round, a lot better than he did the first 3. I think you got to give him the benefit of the doubt in that round, anyways. And as we just heard in his court, he said he's going to figure him out a little bit. We'll have to see that in the 5th round.
Well, Berbick just told his corner he's trying to figure out Lyle McDowell, and I think he's had enough time to do that.
Well, he's going to have to show us now.
Don't bomb it. Now watch your head in there, Trevor.
Trevor pushing him around a little bit in here, trying to get some action, trying to bother him.
Hands are free. Punch.
Not really doing no punching, though.
Let's take a look at your scorecard, Kenny, and you gave an even round. That's an improvement for Trevor Berbick.
Well, I thought he come to life a little bit in that round. I thought that he threw some legitimate shots and started coming back a little bit. Talking a little bit now to Lyle McDowell, but just standing there in the corner and absorbing some blows.
Oh, and Berbick throwing a little bit of heat.
Hey, no talking, just fighting.
Berbick, a showman, likes to talk, taunting his young Lyle McDowell in on him, trying to get him to come in.
Did he ever do that to you?
Oh yeah, he's a talker. He did it to Holmes. He did it to everybody. He's a talker. A lot of times, you hurt a guy when they start talking. So Lyle should start to use that jab and move around and make this big guy chase him around a little bit, follow him around with a jab, and lower that left hand in there. Trevor's open right now. He's not really the fighter he used to be, and Lyle has to get on his toes and expose them vulnerable spots of Trevor Berbick.
Well, whoever comes away the victor in this bout will have an opportunity through the IBO to face current world heavyweight champion, undefeated Brian Nielsen, and Nielsen's looking to defend. And
big left hook by Trevor Berbick there.
Oh, and Berbick just missing with a big uppercut.
Couple real nice shots by Lyle McDowell. He's starting to open up here now. Berbick's fighting back. You got to give Berbick credit. He's starting to show a fighter's heart here. He's coming back, catching some big shots and fighting back. He's never been questioned once on his chin. Trevor Berbick is an awful tough character.
He's been in the ring with the best, Kenny,
yeah,
including yourself.
Oh, he certainly has. Even when you hit him, he still keeps saying, come on, come on. And that can intimidate a fighter. And Lyle McDowell is showing a lot of savvy right now by just relaxing and keep pitching him. If Berbick wants to catch him, he'll keep pitching him.
You know, Kenny, I'd like to harken back to the time that you fought George Foreman as we watched Trevor Berbick go to work, and Foreman started out slow with you as well. As we come to the conclusion of this round, and Foreman, let's go to Lyle McDowell's corner here first before we get back to what I was talking about with Foreman.
Okay, hold it. Now, you look at him, but you don't punch. Breathe. Breathe, Lyle. Breathe.
Here's a look at some of that furious action, and just a wild uppercut by Berbick. If he would have caught McDowell there, may have been canvas time.
Okay, let's go. Let's go, buddy. You're smarter than this. Good to champ. Okay, okay.
And this is what the fans in Edmonton wanted to see, more of Trevor Berbick taking the fight to his opponent.
Don't let this guy go with his shit. You heard it. That's why he talked to you. That's why. Okay? Remember how tough you want to be? Punch him and punch him again until they fall.
Give them combination.
Follow me?
Watch that left hand.
Round number 6, and the fans putting their hands together as they want to see more from the showman Trevor Berbick. We're getting back to the story I was talking about, Kenny, about you and George Foreman. I know you remember the fight, and I'm sure you remember the big punch that you landed on George Foreman. It rocked him. And that punch was used on quite a few boxing shows as one of the biggest punches that George had ever been hit by during his comeback. Anyway, you woke up the sleeping giant, George Foreman, and he came right after you.
Well, that was my mistake, waking him up. But see, a lot of the times that happens in boxing. You wake a guy up.
Another even round.
Well, I still got McDowell winning them early rounds. Berbick's going to have to come on. If anything, I'm giving him an even round there. I give him the benefit of the doubt. He could have lost it, but now he's starting to talk, and he's trying to intimidate Lyle McDowell here. Lyle's got to forget about the talk and get back to basics, and Berbick's starting to unload some big shots, and they're trying to take this guy out.
This is what we've been waiting for. You can see the look in Trevor Berbick's eyes, much more focused than what he was through the first couple of rounds.
All Berbick said after the 4th round, he said he's starting to figure this guy out. By the looks of the start of this round, he is starting to figure him out. He's starting to land some good shots, and Berbick still possesses a lot of power, 254 pounds. He's really trying to lay some lumber in there.
Yeah, with a big right hand that missed. Lyle McDowell is lucky he got out of the way.
Well, lucky that Trevor's age caught up with him a bit. Years ago, he might have landed that big right hand. There it is there, the big right hand that we were talking about.
No knockdown called by referee Lenny Corvisto. I think it was a slip. But you may see Trevor Berbick try to come after him.
Trevor still possesses the power.
And that seemed to be a very short round. I know on our time clock we had still about a minute to go, and the people with the Edmonton Boxing and Wrestling Commission, they're going to have to be questioned on that, but needless to say, it was a very quick round. And we're going to be going into round number 7.
Calling you and all that that shit. I'm just standing in front of it, not doing anything about it.
Here's a look at some of the action that we saw as Trevor Berbick nailed Lyle McDowell with a right hand. And Berbick a lot more active.
You had a chance to be a champion? Now what? Come on, buddy. This is boxing. This is that's all it is. This is boxing, baby.
Slowing down.
Listen, okay, let's go, man. Don't look at him. Punch. Get up. Let's go.
All right, well, let's see if we can get a full 3 minutes in this time.
Well, what we're going to have to see here is they want Trevor to slow this guy down, but what we're going to have to see is, does Trevor still possess the conditioning, endurance, and strength to continue to fight over 12 rounds and slow this younger Lyle McDowell down? So that's another question that the ex-champ is going to have to prove.
Big right hand, Kenny.
Yeah, nice right hand too as well.
Berbick, an incredibly slow starter, but like we had mentioned, he likes to speed it up in the late going, and he's now starting to show Lyle McDowell some of the world championship power that he possesses.
Yeah, he's a strong guy. He's a very determined guy, Trevor Berbick. Trevor Berbick's the kind of guy that can start like a turtle, and all of a sudden, boom, he can end this thing. And I mean, he's going to have to really have some conditioning behind him, because Lyle's the younger man, possesses way more hand speed. Right now, Lyle McDowell's doing exactly what Trevor Berbick wants. He's laying in with him and mucking it up, and Trevor's a good mucker. He'll keep mucking with you.
Well, let's take a look at the champ scorecard. And another 10-10 round, Kenny. There's been quite a few of those. I know you're having a tough time scoring the bout.
Well, it's making it tough. Berbick is starting to make it a more entertaining bout. He's starting to land with some shots. But like I said, his age is going to be the factor. If anybody should be able to pick up the pace for this later part of the round, it's going to be Lyle McDowell.
Big right hand by Berbick didn't phase Lyle McDowell, who's coming back and answering those punches.
Yeah, they're both laying some lumber here. There's a lot on the line here. Both of these guys, Berbick wants to be the champ. The Iceman wants to get the championship. Both big opportunities for either one. In the wings waits Brian Nielsen of Copenhagen, Denmark, the current IBO champion, and it should be interesting.
There it is.
When you look at these guys, Kenny, I know that you're no longer going to come out of retirement and head back into the ring. You've got better things on the go, and you've got some great people behind you helping you make a great living.
Well, I just lately I started selling cars. I sell for Subaru City and Devonian Hyundai, and they treat me really good there, and I enjoy doing that, and things have been going good. It's a new career for me, and Cam McPherson owns the Subaru City and treats me like a king, so I enjoy selling cars, James.
Well, geez, you'd think they'd get somebody who knew how to talk, though. You know what I'm saying?
I like selling cars, like meeting the people, chatting with everybody. It's just a lot of fun. So over at Subaru City, it's a nice laid-back place, and I can do that.
Well, Kenny, we're proud to have you on our broadcast tonight, a true champion, and it's great to hear your insight, especially being able to talk about a guy that you once faced in the likes of Trevor Berbick. As we come to the end of round number 7 from the Edmonton Convention Center, Trevor Berbick and the Iceman, Lyle McDowell.
That's what the Iceman should be doing. Stay on his toes and peck away at him, because as you get older, you can't keep that pace going.
You're in his hometown, right?
Well, Trevor Berbick certainly looks as if he's more than happy to go 12 rounds if he has to go 12 rounds. But really, if he can connect with the punch, he can put Lyle McDowell away, because he's starting to throw some punches, Kenny, but maybe he's just not busy enough.
Well, he's going to definitely have to get busier if he wants to win this decision. You hit it right in the nose, James. Showboating, slapping, pushing, mucking in there doesn't win you a fight. Lyle McDowell, this last round, got on his toes and started boxing. And I mean, when you do that, you win rounds.
Here they're not doing nothing. The first round good, second round that was it. Let's go.
You're in his hometown.
Let's go. You are 9 years old. You can't punch here. For God's sake.
Hang back.
8th round, as the IBO Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship belt is on the line. And finally, after a slow start, Trevor Berbick is kind of picking up the pace, but he hasn't really picked it up enough yet to dominate his opponent, Lyle the Iceman McDowell.
Yeah, Trevor's got to start not just pawing with that jab, he's got to start throwing something behind it. Like, I like him getting the jab out there, but there's going to be a right hook, a right hand behind it, and a left hook behind that.
Okay, you gave the last round to Lyle McDowell, and you can see Trevor Berbick's trying to pick up the pace to get you on his side.
Well, Lyle just doing a little bit more. He's just jabbing a little bit more. And Trevor's coming on a little bit more this round, but last round he didn't really do a lot. And you got to throw the leather if you want to win the fight. There it is. There's a 1-2, and he'll be the first one again, throwing again. And Berbick just seems to be catching tonight or trying to muck it up. Turn into a sort of a inside fight, and Lyle wants to get on his toes now and start boxing if he wants to get successful again.
Keep him up.
Well, McDowell's chin was questioned when he was chosen as the opponent for this Intercontinental belt due to the fact that he has gone down early in a few bouts, but he's also knocked out a couple of guys early. But so far, we've seen him withstand the punching power of Trevor Berbick.
Well, one thing about Trevor Berbick, he's an ex-world champion. Anybody that can get to the top of the mountain, you can never, ever, ever count him out of a fight. Berbick's in this fight. All he's got to do is he's got to start putting some punches together. Lyle McDowell is starting now to let Trevor get back into this fight, and I think that he's got to quit wiggling, and he's got to get on those toes and start putting his hand speed to work for him. And if he doesn't do that, he might find himself on the canvas again.
1 minute remaining here in round number 8. McDowell with a big right hand, but doesn't phase Berbick.
Watch the heads in there, guys. You gotta watch your heads in there.
Both guys seem to be a bit tired this round. Both guys don't really seem to be doing very much. Both guys are tired. Both guys are laying, holding on to each other. 30 seconds left in the round. It really hasn't shown a lot for either guy.
Berbick really concentrating on the body.
If I was in the corner of Lyle McDowell now, I'd be telling him to start dancing, getting on his toes, and using that jab, because right now he's trying to fight Trevor's fight, and that's not what you want to do. Trevor's fight is showboating, intimidating, and mucking it in there, and Lyle shouldn't be there. He should be boxing.
Okay, give me some water here, man. I got it. How you feeling? One more? Take a little bit.
Do the high back.
No, it's okay. It's okay. How you feel?
Don't worry about it.
Here's a look at some of the action in our last round, and Trevor Berbick picking up the pace a bit. Lyle McDowell having an opportunity to take this fight away from Trevor Berbick, but he isn't taking advantage of those opportunities.
Neither guy really did a lot that round. They both laid in there, and they both connected with some good punches.
He's okay. When you land and go, take a step back. Yeah. One step back. Yeah. When you land in on him, take a step back. Seconds out.
Both guys are very, very tired right now. Berbick's trying to play some head games on the younger Lyle McDowell. I don't know how much it worked. We'll see in this round.
We are scheduled for 12 rounds here at the Edmonton Convention Center. Trevor Berbick with 32 knockouts to his credit. He'd love to make it 33 tonight to get the Edmonton fans on his side. He'd love to reappear in Edmonton on further fight cards, but it's hard to sell tickets unless you're impressive, and thus far Trevor Berbick has not been extremely impressive.
Let's go back into that.
Here's a look at your scorecard, Kenny. Another 10-10 round.
It was an even round. I mean, nobody's really doing anything enough to steal the rounds. McDowell's not moving around and jabbing as much as he used to, and Berbick's just plodding, but he is scoring relatively even blows, so I had to call that round even. In this round, nobody's really coming out as the boss here either, so I'm probably going to score this one even unless I start to see some action right away from one of the fighters taking over. both men are starting to feel a little bit fatigued right now. It's wearing in there. Berbick still punching with good power in each hand. Lyle's starting to fade a little bit right now.
And the big question is, can Lyle McDowell go 12 rounds, or for that matter, can Berbick even go 12?
Nice, nice. Both men throwing nice balanced punches. Both teeing off on each other, trying to end this fight. Good punches by Lyle McDowell inside there. Tough rounds to score. Very, very hard to score these rounds. Unless you have a punch stat on how many punches the guys are really actually throwing. They both seem to be connecting. Half decent on the shots on the elbows. And Lyle just seems to score a little bit cleaner than Trevor. But at least Trevor's starting to mix it up. Starting to throw some punches. Fatigue is starting to wear in on both guys. They're both breathing heavy, both laying on each other. Berbick slapping lots.
Less than 30 seconds remaining in round number 9, and a good left hook by Trevor Berbick that gets the attention of Lyle McDowell.
One thing about it, they're really throwing lots of leather here. McDowell's trying to win this round in the very end with a flurry, and he's connecting with a lot of these punches too.
He's got the tape on his left glove. Now he's got to get some tape on that left glove.
Okay, I need some tape, guys. Piece, and it's in North White.
Here's a look at some of the action in round number 9 as we start heading into those championship rounds, Kenny, as Trevor Berbick a little bit more busy in that round. But as you had mentioned, Lyle McDowell able to score, and that may get the judges' attention.
Yeah, Lyle seems to be heading and making Trevor miss a lot more. Moves around, 230 pounds younger, catching Trevor on the end of a lot of his punches. Berbick, although is throwing some punches with good power on them, don't seem to be landing that many. He gets the odd body shot in, but a lot of the times, a lot of his punches aren't in bunches, and they don't really score that on a regular basis.
Well, coming up a little later on tonight, we have got the IBO World Flyweight Championship. Scotty the Bulldog Olsen taking on Jack the Terrier Russell. We've got a dogfight for you, so don't go away, boxing fans. More action to come a little later on.
See, what McDowell's doing now is what he should be doing, keeping his distance, popping out that jab, and making the old man chase him. But he wants to stay in there and slug with him instead. He's standing up. He's got his chin right up in the air. He's just waiting for Trevor to hit him with a shot. There's a couple nice punches. Both of them were landing good. But I don't think that McDowell should be gambling as much as he is.
Time.
Here's a look at your scorecard, Kenny, and the tape just came off of Lyle McDowell there. You had that round again in favor of Lyle McDowell.
Well, he just seems to be doing a little bit more. Trevor's going to have to really start to come on here. He's going to have to get Lyle doing what he just did at the end there, getting him in exchange. Maybe he can stop this guy with one shot, because he's certainly behind in points on the scorecards. He's catching a lot of leather now, and McDowell's just a little bit faster than him, gets to the punches a little quicker. You see, in McDowell, if he does have a questionable chin, he's really gambling right now, because if Berbick does land that big shot on him, it might be lights out for him.
Well, as mentioned, we are getting into those championship rounds, and I really question whether or not Lyle McDowell thought he'd be going this far with Trevor Berbick.
Well, Trevor seems to be taking a little bit of a break in this round, and it's not going to do him any favors on the scorecards of the judges, that's for sure. He's sitting back, and McDowell is actually starting to push him backwards now, and that's the first time we've seen that all night. A couple good body shots by Lyle McDowell. He's doing exactly what he should be doing, but he can't be gambling as much as he is. He should be on his toes and popping that jab out, keeping Trevor Berbick at bay.
Berbick not even throwing punches with any velocity right now in the 10th round, and if he's trying to conserve for the last 2 rounds, that may not be a good decision.
Well, I think he's going to have to start to think knockout right away, because he's down. I know he's behind on the judges' scorecards. This younger McDowell is starting to throw more punches, and Berbick is now starting to come on, back up a little bit from McDowell. And McDowell's starting to score a lot more than Berbick is. So Berbick's got to come forward again like he is right there. And McDowell just threw a big punch.
He threw it and missed, and Berbick hit him behind the head, and referee Lenny Clavisto come in and really didn't issue a warning.
Well, they just did a little bit of dancing in there. McDowell spun around, and Berbick didn't know that he spun around, so he just winged a shot at him. So just the busyness there of McDowell. 7 punches to 3. Come back with 2 there, Berbick did. Being a little busier is always, the judges look at that. Whether you're connecting or hitting the shoulders, the judges look at that. There, just always a little bit more for McDowell than there is for Berbick. Always a little bit more for him.
That's going to do it for round 10. So Trevor Berbick goes back to his corner, and you know, he's tired. There's no question. You can see the fatigue on his face. He doesn't even want to sit down now.
Well, I think when you start to get up there in weight and age, George Foreman doesn't sit down. It's a little bit strenuous getting up after you sat for a minute, so he stands up and makes him feel a little bit easier. He doesn't have to get up and waste any energy getting up.
Here's a look at some of the action in round number 10. Trevor Berbick trying to get busy, but Lyle McDowell countering and backing the ex-champion off.
Well, if the ex-champion wants to win this fight, he's going to have to sit Lyle McDowell down on the canvas for a 10 count, because I think he pretty well needs a knockout. Lyle's out-punched him maybe 2-1 or on the clean blows, and I think that he's going to need a knockout. And if there was ever that championship, which there was in Trevor Berbick, he's going to need it in rounds 11 and 12.
Round number 11 is Trevor Berbick needs to get busy, and probably busy in a hurry if he wants to win this bout.
Big left uppercut by Lyle McDowell on the tiring Trevor Berbick. Berbick always game. Berbick always game to come in there and hang in there. Nobody can question Trevor Berbick's heart, because he's got tons of heart, tons of guts. He's always game. Nobody really knows his age, but he's always game and always keeps coming on.
Here's a look at your scorecard again, and you've got this fight completely in favor of Lyle McDowell.
Well, he's just doing a little bit more than Berbick is, and I don't know how the judges are going to score it, but I'm sure scoring it on the cleaner blows, just a little busier like he is right now. When you're busier most of the time like that, you're going to get the decision, and he just certainly seems to be busier than Trevor. And Trevor's awkward, and Trevor's going to have to knock him out, and he's going to have to start throwing some combination punches, 2-3 together instead of just 1-2s, or 1 and then push. Big left, big right hook by Lyle McDowell. His corner stressing Lyle, the Iceman McDowell, to keep moving, keep sticking. Don't let the old cagey veteran land the big shot and win this fight in the late rounds. And he's listening to instructions quite well. Big left hook to Trevor Berbick's midsection by Lyle McDowell, and he's having a field day in this round with his speed and his balance.
Trevor Berbick having a tough time tracking down the young McDowell.
See, and this is what I expected Lyle to do after winning those first few rounds so decisively. Trevor doesn't really have the foot and hand speed, as you can see right now, so Lyle was really greeting him by coming in and slugging with him.
Hey, let him go. Break, stop punching, stop back.
See, in boxing, if you let a guy get brave on you like Trevor did, you're going to walk into make the fight so much tougher for yourself. And he let this guy win them first 3-4 rounds. Had he been doing the hard punching early, he might have been able to get better results than he has tonight.
Final seconds of round number 11. This for the IBO World Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship, an opportunity to meet Brian Nielsen of Denmark. And neither gentleman really showing a whole lot of interest as to who wants to win this fight.
Well, Lyle's still a little bit more movable, and he's got a little bit better balance. He moves around better. Trevor more plods so much, and we can't sell both men short on their heart. They're both trying real hard, and they're both a little bit overweight, and Trevor's still trying to intimidate even towards the end of the bell. And same old story. Jack, Lyle McDowell just a little bit too young, a little too fast, and too many answers for the little questions that Trevor's had so far.
Because you want to. You're a young guy, you can punch like a mother. And you're not doing it. You say, yeah, I go. But you're not doing it. You're not doing anything. Or you're going there bouncing. Don't bounce. Get your feet together.
Give me a little strand of tape on this club.
Okay. Get your
Come on, strand tape.
Hey, get your feet together and let it go. Let the punches go.
This is last round. You're in his hometown.
You gotta knock him out. You got to knock him out. Not
One decisive. Come on, Lyle.
If you don't knock him out, you're not gonna win. And remember, if you don't have a heart of a champion, you can't be a champion.
Get the towel.
Good advice from the corner of Lyle McDowell. Kenny, I don't know if they're playing tricks or what they're doing, but they feel as if Lyle McDowell needs a knockout to win.
Berbick is a true warrior. Look at this, coming out in the 12th round, 254 pounds. All the credit to him. I'm proud of him. He's trying, but I mean, I just don't think that he's got it anymore. Unless he lands that big shot in this Lyle McDowell and scores a knockout, it's pretty well impossible for him to win this bout. Lyle's gambling quite a bit here. He's chins up in the air, and instead of moving like his corner said.
Now there we get a look at your scorecard again, Kenny. No question who you are favoring in this bout, and I think it's Trevor Berbick. May need a knockout to get the win.
Keep him up, eh? Okay.
Well, Trevor needs the knockout to win, that's for sure. I don't think he's done as much as Lyle has. He's going to need a knockout to win this bout, but he is throwing some big leather, and he's showing some great heart of an ex-champion. And hey, if you can be the champion of the world at any one given time, you've got to have a lot of heart and determination. And Trevor's showing that. He's not in the best shape of his life, but look at the heart he's got. He's got a heart of a champion, that's for sure. Just doesn't have the legs and the ability anymore. Big left hook by Lyle McDowell.
Well, it certainly doesn't look as if anyone's going to be scoring a knockout here in the 12th round. I think both guys want this thing to end so they can rest and relax, and they've only got 1 minute and 15 to go. Big right hand, or left hand by McDowell, and Trevor Berbick answers with a shot to the body.
This Berbick is a very, very strong guy. There's a big right hook by Berbick. He should have been fighting like this a little bit earlier. He's a tough guy. Both guys are real determined to end strong here in front of the fans, and more importantly, in front of the judges. And they're both digging down right now and asking themselves to fight a little bit more.
10 seconds.
Well, if Trevor was ever conserving his energy, he came out and fought like he should have fought for 12 rounds, and we're going to go to the judges' scorecards.
Berbick should have been fighting like this from earlier. He's catching Lyle with some good shots. He's getting hit with some good ones, but he's pushing the action. Another big left hook by Lyle McDowell. Another big left hook. Another one.
That is going to do it. We have finished 12 complete rounds, and very, very tired Trevor Berbick goes to his corner. And for Lyle McDowell, an opportunity to upset a former two-time world champion on the comeback trail. And I'll tell you what, it was definitely a heck of a battle. Let's take a look at some of the dominating punches in the end that Lyle McDowell threw at Trevor Berbick.
While we're waiting for the final results, thanks again to our main sponsor this evening, Spirit Water. Being responsible for this event, spirit water and the water under. Also, don't forget everyone, the big party. The Edmonton Renaissance Hotel. I got that right. Yeah, you got it. We'll see you down after.
Well, there's a look at Trevor Berbick, and really hard to say as to what the final verdict is going to be, but I think it's pretty straightforward that Trevor Berbick did not look like his former world championship self, and we'll likely see that on the scorecards tonight, so that would probably bring to an end the comeback of Trevor Berbick. Who knows, he may want to continue fighting, but I think Lyle the Iceman McDowell has picked up one of the biggest victories of his professional career.
Well, you can't take nothing away from Trevor. He certainly fought real hard. It was a great fight, but time catches up to everybody. Time catches up to all athletes.
Immediately following the decision, we will be going right to the ring for the IBO World Flyweight Championship. The man we've been waiting for tonight, Scotty Bulldog Olsen, coming off of a 10th round knockout at the hands of Michael Carbajal. The Little Hands of Stone has now officially retired from the professional ranks, but Scotty, knowing that he put in every single effort he possibly could against Michael Carbajal, wanted to come back to Edmonton and fight again and show the fans that he can still throw his patented right hand and get the knockouts, and he wants another title shot. And if he can beat Jack the Terrier Russell tonight, he will certainly have that opportunity. But in the meantime, we are still waiting the results of the big fight here tonight between Trevor Berbick and Lyle McDowell. And for Trevor Berbick, I think this could be the end of the line.
These guys in the state not bigger than him. No. A lot of politics. They ain't bigger than him. Tune up and I'll be anybody in the market. They know it. That's what I need. Ring work.
Well, he needed the ring work, Ken, but I don't think you can start off the way that Trevor Berbick did, basically lulling everyone to sleep here at the convention center and then expecting to get things going. Let's go up to our ring announcer, Rob Kay, who has the official results.
Judge David Haas scores it 115 to 110 for Berbick. Judge William Warwick Jr. scores it 116 to 112 for McDowell. Judge Gary Hart scores it 117-111. The winner by a split decision and new IBO Intercontinental Champion, Lyle McDowell.
Yeah. Oh, I'll tell you. Mind if I put this on you, sir? Put it on me. Oh, I'm the champ. You gonna give me a return shot? Oh, man, Trevor, you got a chance. Well, you know, you bring your ass to the States, though. No. No, they rip off over there. They don't let you get a warm-up. All right, bro. But I haven't fought in a long time, but if you go that way, I'm not gonna cry. Because, you know, but you should fight me. Yeah. You know? I ain't mad at you. I'm gonna fight you. You should fight me and get me home where it's all fair.
Well, there you go, the two gentlemen looking to get a new friendship, and what we're going to do is we're going to come back with more right after this.
I know.
Voici la décision. Here's the decision. Le juge Lapointe marque 73-79. Judge Lapointe scores it 73-79. Le juge Leblanc, pointage 73-79. Judge Leblanc scores it 73-79. Et le juge Nadeau inscrit 73-79. Judge Nadeau scores it 73-79. Vainqueur par décision unanime, winner by unanimous decision, Trevor Berbick.
Berbick now 48-10-1. Of those 48 wins, 33 by knockout. Iran Barkley drops to 43-18-1. 27 of those wins by knockout. And it's just a matter of time now before that man, Trevor Berbick, the Canadian heavyweight champion, goes up against George Foreman. Our Our Charles-Andre Marchand is standing by. And let's go to him. He's got the Canadian champion.
Comeback trail, and we hear that George Foreman may be next. But tell me first about this fight.
Thank you, Lord. You know, that was good for me. I was expecting to take him out, but he proved that he was in shape and he's skilled. I'm looking for a good professional to warm. This is a tune-up fight. The guy does this thing, he take a shot and come back. I thought he would be out of shape, but he surprised me. Next time I'll train with professional. I was training amateur for this, helping these Olympic kid. I was playing around too much because I didn't want to hurt him. But this is a good tune-up. You see me next time, mean and deadly. This guy is tough. He's a 3-time world champ. Don't underestimate him. They come to fight. You know, so I'm glad for the process because I know how good I am. I ain't get a scar, and my skill is there, my reflex is there. I can do it. You got to work yourself slowly. Don't let me see how good you are to get to the big one. I'll get there.
Well,
Easily,
thank you very much.
I can fight.
I wish you good luck.
Thank you very
All right. Alors voilà, Trevor Berbick, donc, est toujours aussi enthousiaste. Ça prend une question, puis on a une réponse très longue. Alors donc, Trevor
Thank you very much, Charles.
Michael.